Welcome back. Today's video is going to be about habits. We have habits in our everyday that are good and bad. I would highly encourage you, if you like habits, you like to think about them, you like to not like obsess over them, but or you just want to change your life in general. Atomic Habits by James Clear is such a great book. I actually either might buy a physical copy or go buy an online copy of it just so I can have it all the time. But it is so essential to realize that sometimes you think, oh, I have this big goal, or this thing is happening on this date and I need to know this X, Y, and Z by that date. And it feels so overwhelming, but you really just need to take life day by day. That's what I've learned, especially through my college experience. I would get really hyped up. I am a personality that hypes myself up, meaning I get so worked up over something that could happen in a few days, and I just obsess over it. And so I would just encourage you to take one step at a time today. But one way you can do that is realizing that if you want to become healthier, say you want to lose weight, that's not going to be an overnight thing. A lot of change cannot be overnight, especially if it's a good change and positive change. And same for negative. One bad habit, say you wanted to lose weight, or you want to cut eating cookies out of your diet. If you continue to eat a cookie a day, you're still going to be eating cookies down the line. But one cookie per day versus 20 cookies per day, that's a positive change if you look at it that way. So say your idea is you want to exercise. I had trouble exercising as a kid, in my young adult years, and continue to. But I keep telling myself 10 minutes a day is better, or 20 minutes more so. 20 minutes per day is more so better for you than 2 to 3 30-minute increments of time. Because if you do it 20 minutes per day and you do all 7 days, 20 times 7 is 140 minutes, which is over 2 hours, whereas the other one is only an hour and a half if you go up to 3, or an hour if you split it into 2 times. I feel like it can be hard to kind of look at the big picture, especially if you are a big picture person. Sometimes you just tend to look at the big picture and just not step back and look at the little small things that need to happen as you move forward and as you are trying to achieve that goal. Because it's you can't run a marathon in your first time and get a sub 3-hour time period. You need to really train yourself to that if that's your goal. Or if you want to go sub 4 minutes for the mile, you can't just do that in your first time. You have to keep going, and it takes a habit each and every day to either help you achieve that goal or harm you from achieving that goal. So I would just say look at yourself and look at the goals that you are creating for yourself, and really say, is this achievable? What are the habits that I have today and tomorrow? Because habits are compounding. Whether they're good or bad, they're compounding. So just take one step today to make tomorrow easier, and it keeps going until one day, it's so routine to you. And habits are routine. That's what they are. Habits are routines. They're in routines. They are part of the routine, and they can be good or bad, like I said multiple times. So just do one habit. Focus on one habit a week to change. You don't need to track them. If you feel better tracking them, you can. Once you hit 21 days is when it's easier to just integrate that into your daily life. But if you're trying to break a habit, replace it with a different habit, and that can be helpful. And you can also, there's this thing called habit stacking, so doing multiple habits at once. So when you're driving, listening to your music, Instead of listening to music, listening to an audiobook or a podcast if you want to listen to more podcasts and learn more. Or when you're working, if you wanted to, if you had to write an email, you could be listening to a podcast or an audiobook while you're walking on your walking pad, like things like that. Just do one habit today to set you up for success tomorrow.